Welcome back to the show with no name. You all know who I am. There's my co-host. Introduce yourself.
Hey everyone, it's Tyler Mills here, and we are back with another brand new episode of the show with no name.
Yeah, get that game show voice going.
Anyway, last time we spoke about big, certain things.
Yes, we definitely spoke about certain things. In the last episode, we talked about how when a game, has a decision in it that makes narrative sense, doesn't necessarily make it a better game for it. Such as with my example of being Shadow of the Colossus, not having any enemies except for the Colossus, so it's just walking between areas, trying to find the bosses, fighting the bosses, and then repeating, repeating 16 times until you beat the game.
Right. My instance was just talking about how in The Last of Us, stalkers were like a one-hit kill despite being the transition phase between a runner and a clicker.
Yeah. But today we are going to be talking about one of the most beloved franchises of all.
Well,
and one game that sucked so much garbage that it became a meme. Mm-hmm. We're talking, of course, about the Assassin's Creed franchise.
Yep. Assassin's Creed, made by the infamous Ubisoft.
I thought it was Ubisoft.
No, from what I've heard, mostly it's just Ubisoft.
Oh, that's weird. But then again, there's an anime studio called UFO Table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, apparently you're supposed to pronounce it in a way that just is weird to just contort your mouth into the proper way of pronouncing it. So I just... But, yeah, is how most people think. But yeah, it's UFO Table. But... Okay, so the Assassin's Creed franchise has been around for quite some time. When was the first game?
2007.
Yeah, 2007, which means I'm just barely 2 years older than this series.
I am. Okay, let's think.
What?
I was born in 2005, and the game came out in 2007.
Yeah, same as me.
So I would have been a little over 2 years old.
That's what I said. Same for me.
Oh yeah. But
you're forgetting we're the same age.
Yeah, but what I think is interesting about Assassin's Creed is that it originally started out as a Prince of Persia spinoff.
Really?
Before they eventually decided that the game was way too different from what they had in mind, so they decided to turn it into a parkour stealth-based game.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense that it was originally meant to be Prince of Persia, because it feels a lot like what a Prince of Persia 3D game would be.
Mm-hmm. And
for those of you who don't know in the audience, Persia was a video game where the primary idea was, instead of being a standard platforming game, it was meant to be a realistic platforming game, where instead of jumping up to a platform 10 feet down and then just being able to drop down that same height without any injury, you have to slowly and methodically move down in ways similar to how a real person would have to. Like if you want to drop down a ledge that's from a height, instead of just dropping down, you would have to climb off the edge, hang down, and then drop from there, so you're not falling as much of a distance.
Right. Now, they also did this using a style of rotoscope animation, which was considered pretty ambitious for its time.
Yeah, absolutely. But, oh no, he's gone.
Yeah.
But there actually was a game around the same time as Prince of Persia that did something similar. You might have heard of it. It's called Lester the Unlikely.
Yep. If anyone hasn't seen anything on that game, I recommend looking at the Angry Video Game Nerd episode 96, because that contains the review of the game and is widely considered one of the worst games on the SNES.
I'm surprised he remembered the number of the episode.
Well, you got to think, before they stopped showing the Cinemassacre logo and stuff, they usually listed off the number of the episode.
I also missed the theme song. I also missed the theme song.
Yeah, I heard you. I miss it too, but unfortunately, YouTube's gotten more strict and they can't really do it anymore.
Oh, wait, that's the reason? I thought it was just a matter of either people just didn't like hearing it. People thought that people didn't like hearing it anymore, or the guy who made the song had a problem with it playing now.
But nope, it was YouTube's strict language policy that changed it.
Yeah. Thanks, Susan. Yes, I know she's dead.
Well, Neil is making things worse.
Oh, absolutely. And let's hold our tongue, since this will be going up on YouTube as well. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hello.
Yes, hello to everybody on YouTube who is watching this. Anyway, so who's gonna go first on Assassin's Creed?
Oh, I wasn't thinking about it being a back and forth of talking about different things. I thought we would just actually just talk about the games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
okay.
But you can start us off, since you know more about the games than I do.
Okay.
Okay. You left off at, it was based around being a Prince of Persia game until they realized how different it was, and then they made it a stealth combat game.
Yes. Now, the first game was received pretty well in terms of story, graphics, and some aspects of its acting and its music, but was also criticized for its repetitive gameplay structure and lack of balance. And Altair ultimately got criticized because his voice actor used an American accent as opposed to a Middle Eastern accent, which I don't understand why they did that.
What era? I mean, yeah, for the first Assassin's Creed game, where and when was it? Yeah, it taking place?
I think. Okay, I know it's somewhere in the Middle East, but it's like in the 1100s or 1200s.
Here, I'll Google it.
Yeah, okay. All I know is that it's like a really distant time into the past in comparison to the year that the modern segments take place in, which is 2012.
It took place in the Third Crusade. And it says here, in the Holy Land, 1191 AD. And it featuring historical cities like Jerusalem and a bunch of places that also exist but don't matter next to Jerusalem. So now, interestingly enough, I don't get what they mean by Middle Eastern accent, because there are different accents for the different areas, and heck, the Israeli accent, which I think would make sense for Jerusalem, sounds nothing like any of the other Middle Eastern accents, with the only exception being they have a lot of phlegm in pronouncing anything, such as probably the only word that I know.
Hold on.
Oh, sorry. Okay, we're gonna have to take a pause while we wait for him to come back. Okay, while we wait for him, we're gonna talk about something. Okay. Time for this intermission. Last time we had intermission, I believe was in episode 1, where I talked about the movie Officer Black Belt. Today, I'm going to be talking to you guys about an interesting piece of exercise equipment. This here is the chest expander. Springs got cut. This here is the chest expander. Here, back it up a bit so you guys can see better. This was a piece of training equipment that was very popular for a brief period of time. But became less popular, especially I believe with the development of the cable machines, eventually eventually making these redundant to have in gyms. And then a lot of people stopped getting them for home gym equipment, and subsequently people just stopped using them. But what are these good for? Well, they're excellent for developing the rear delts, which are the back muscles in the back of your shoulders. I've primarily been using them for lat development, but these are basically the same thing as the modern resistance bands that people often get, especially for home training or physical therapy. However, these have two benefits that the resistance bands don't have, other than looking significantly cooler. First one being, they're adjustable. See, I got 3 springs on here because I've been waiting. Been working up to doing higher weights because I refuse to do anything less than 20 reps on an exercise. At home. But then it fits up to 5. If I remember correctly, the weight on this one was set up to 136 pounds. With all 5 springs. So it's adjustable. With resistance bands, they're not adjustable. You just have to get new bands if you want more. Now, of course, some people will say, oh, but the longer you stretch a resistance band, the more tension is on it. Well, yeah, but if you don't have anything to anchor it to, then you're not going to be able to stretch it well. So this is just excellent to have. And the second reason I find this better than resistance bands for home training is the handles. One of my main problems with resistance band training was just how annoying it is to get grips on the bands for an exercise. The handles on this solve that problem entirely. Like, you got your standard grip for the basic expansion. Too close to the wall, so I won't actually do it. You got your reverse grip for the overhead stuff, like this one. And then you can do different things beyond that, such as putting this handle through putting your foot through this handle, and then boom, suddenly you can do bicep curls. And an added benefit of using these is because the tension from the springs, the higher up you go in the motion, the more tension there is in the springs, therefore making the exercise harder as you do it. Because normally this point here is where you get, when lifting a weight is where you get the maximum tension, and the higher up you go, the less the tension happens until you lower it, and right here is the max tension. But with these, you get max tension all the way up to the top because the intensity goes. It's the same principle as those guys who hang chains off of themselves when they do off of their weights when they do exercises like the bench press or the squat, because as they push the weight up, it get more of the chain is being lifted off the ground, thus making the weight heavier. And so, you can actually get pretty good work with this. And you can work triceps too, like put this over your shoulder like this, hold this down. Yeah. Like this. Ow. Caught some of my arm hairs in the spring. But ultimately, the chest expander is what I've deemed to be one of, if not the best thing you can get for a home gym. In my eyes, the best, if I had to say 3 things for a person to get for a home gym, one of those pull-up dip stations, and one of those adjustable weight vests. I mean, because you can train your shoulders with this. This. You can use the dips and pull-ups for your basic push and pull movement. Yeah, heck, from the dip station, you can do body weight rows. So you got your your exercise for the thickness of your back too. And with the weight vest, you can you can apply resistance to performing performing leg exercises. Now that being said, you won't said eventually you'll have to do more. But with those, you can really focus on the major gap of your training, which would be being able to overload your legs. So you can really focus on getting say a squat rack. I recommend a half rack personally. Yeah, maybe with a cable attachment, maybe a landmine attachment. But ultimately, this is one of my go-tos. I wasn't expecting him to take this long. Okay, give me a second to think of another thing to talk about. Okay, here we got an interesting book. This is Karate's Grappling Methods by Ian Abernathy. Now, Ian Abernathy is a 7th Dan in some style of karate. I can't remember exactly which one. Yeah, and he's been called the Western world's foremost expert on applying karate's bunkai, or the practical application of kata. So, now this book here is pretty interesting that it's in my hand, given that the going rate for it is $700 something. Fortunately, I caught a used copy of it on sale, so I managed to get it for $40 instead.
Surprise!
I saw you unmute.
Damn it!
You didn't press triangle, did you?
No, it says to press Control D.
No, no Assassin's Creed reference.
Damn it, Caleb!
Hey, don't say my actual name.
Sorry.
Okay. Don't worry, I stalled for time pretty well. I talked about this thing right here.
What is that?
Oh, this is a chest expander. One of the best pieces of home exercise equipment ever made. Basically, you use the springs apply resistance, and you use it for different movements.
I see. I'm also distracted by your shirt.
Yeah.
Can't today. I'm swamped.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were talking about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, I just searched up when the setting of the first Assassin's Creed game. It takes place in the Holy Land during the Third Crusade. Now, the Holy Land is Israel. So
really, should everybody wouldn't everyone have a Israeli accent?
That is a good question. Not necessarily, because who are the groups so who are the 3 groups in this in the Crusades? The Islamic empires, the Jews, and the Christians. Now, the points of the Crusades were mostly just to stop Islamic expansion. Because the Islamic nations were militarily going through different countries, conquering them, or even worse, socially invading the countries, turning the culture, outbreeding the local population till eventually they were the one dominant force of the country and taking over that way.
I see.
It took a long time, but eventually the Christian and the Jewish nations just decided to fight back against them and push them back. And eventually, especially because it is the rules of Islam to go against the Christians and Jews. If I remember correctly, the Jews were in a position where executing them for being Jews was a thing that happened, but they could also just tax them extra for living, because not Muslim. But the Christians, I'm pretty sure, were immediate execution.
Okay, anyway,
sorry for the history lesson, everyone.
That's fine. I'm always interested in a history lesson, but
I'm just happy to talk about the Crusades.
I can understand that, but anyway, so Altair.
Oh wait, I realized I didn't answer your question. So no, realistically, not everyone would have an accent for the area because a lot of people weren't from the area; they were just coming to do the war. But also, so I'm not sure if the Israeli accent specifically was prominent in that time period, just because the modern Israeli accent has developed over thousands of years.
Right.
And modern Israel itself didn't exist until after World War II. When the Jews were kicked out of a bunch of countries, and eventually Israel was founded as the safe place for the Jews to avoid prosecution around the world.
I didn't know that. Anyway, so Altair.
Yeah, Altair.
Not only was he criticized for a lack of an accent, he was also criticized as just being an asshole. Now, I haven't played the first Assassin's Creed, so I don't know shit about Altair.
I'll look into it.
Okay. But I don't really care for the first Assassin's Creed much because it doesn't really.
I thought you said you didn't play it.
Well, I don't care to play it, even though I haven't, because something about the first game just really sets me off.
Okay, so it just doesn't spark interest.
Exactly. Now, this game, Assassin's Creed 2, was extremely different.
That was the one with Ezio, right?
Yeah, and it took place in Italy during the Italian Renaissance, which is my favorite time period in history.
It's up there for me.
Anyway, I didn't care much for the Italian Renaissance, Italy, or Ezio very much until I played 2, which was about 5 years ago during the pandemic era when my dad got this for the PS4. And my brother already played it a bit, so I decided to play it, and I'm like, okay, this really doesn't pique my interest. And then I started playing more of it until like sequence 3 to 4. Then I really started getting interested in the game's story because the story was nice. It was a very big, refreshing tale in comparison to the first game, which I found to be kind of boring. But not only that, Ezio was the first character to have an accent of a kind, which was Italian. And Roger Craig Smith, the guy who did Ezio and is also known for Chris Redfield in Resident Evil and Sonic the Hedgehog, did really well with his voice. And I honestly think that if it wasn't for him, Ezio wouldn't have become my personal favorite assassin in the entire series.
Yeah. Now there is definitely something to that, because one thing that I have noticed with a lot of speech patterns throughout pop culture, accents do genuinely help with establishing a way of liking a character. Mm-hmm. Yeah, not so much. Yeah, so much so that some dialogue that sounds bad that genuinely wasn't that good sounded better because of an accent. Now,
Yeah.
not all accents, of course. Like, for instance, the Indian accent isn't exactly exactly auditorially pleasing. But say, yeah, yeah, the Italian accent, of course, the French accent, and okay, this might sound a bit weird for me to say, but the Cockney accent is quite nice too.
Okay.
The look on your face when I said that.
I was giving off fucking rock vibes. Just anyway.
You gained 2 pounds of muscle when you did that.
Okay. Anyway, so I remember one time. Oh, are you doing something?
I had to throw something. I had to throw something away.
Oh, okay. Anyway, I remember I spent like the next 2 months playing the game, which was from April to June. And it was probably one of the best times of my life because not only did I get to experience what many people called the best game in the series, but I got to experience something that actually changed my views on a culture of kinds.
Yeah, it's not just spaghetti and pizza, is it?
Nope. It's so much more than that. And because of Assassin's Creed 2...
it's also lasagna.
Yes.
Just kidding. That's Bologna's. That's the Bologna area of Italy, and that's not where this game takes place.
Yeah. This game took place in Florence, Tuscany, I mean. And Venice. Those are the three major locations that I can remember.
Which, fun fact, Venice is probably the least profitable area in the entire country of Italy because it's just a tourist destination. Genuinely, the only way that they're able to stay afloat, pun intended, is through tourism. Because surprise, surprise, make a city on the water and nothing can be done there.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I want to really speak about the first city that you come across, which is Florence.
Yeah, it's a nice place.
Oh my god, antivirus, why? Get off my screen. Now it's going to force me to delete something, and I don't want to delete something, so go away.
Well, you just got hacked. Tell the Chinese government I said hi.
I didn't get hacked.
So China didn't steal more of our information?
Nope.
They probably just did as we were saying that.
Anyway.
I'm on to you, China. And nothing's going to stop.
Well, I guess that just happened. Anyway.
Don't worry. Titanium skull. They can't do anything to me.
Adamantium.
Nah. That stuff poisons your blood if you don't have a healing factor.
Well...
Just kidding. Every metal does that. It's called heavy metal poisoning.
Yes. Anyway, so the first city, Florence. I fucking love exploring Florence because it's so big and it's so colorful in comparison to Venice that every time I go through Florence in Assassin's Creed 2, I'm just thinking to myself, damn, Italy really had it good back then, huh? I mean, after all, this was the Italian Renaissance.
Yeah, but then Mussolini happened.
Let's not talk about him. But
one of my favorite chocolate cakes.
Anyway, so there's like 20 different viewpoints that can be observed in Florence, as far as I remember. And I didn't collect all the feathers because collecting all the feathers is just bullshit.
Agreed. That is a horrible side quest.
Another horrible side quest would be the knockoff that Brotherhood had, collecting 100 flags. I've only gotten like 3 flags in that game.
Yeah, but that one's automatically worse because you're not playing as Ezio.
Actually, in Brotherhood, you are.
Oh, I'm probably thinking of a different one then.
Okay,
Oh wait,
so,
sorry, you said flags, and I was thinking of Black Flag.
Oh. Anyway, like, no, I'm not talking about Black Flag. I'm just talking about the Ezio trilogy.
Yeah.
So Florence, as I said, it's a beautiful city, and because of Assassin's Creed 2, I really want to go there at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd probably wait a while though. They have a lot of crime right now. Pickpockets, muggers, most of which is targeting tourists because they're the ones who didn't learn how to spot the pickpocketers and the muggers.
I see.
So at least bring a couple bodyguards.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to wait a little bit, but
Heck, if you pay for my ticket, I'll be your bodyguard.
okay. But Brotherhood. It's very interesting to talk about Brotherhood, in my opinion, because Brotherhood, in my opinion, is my favorite Assassin's Creed game ever. Like, I personally think that, despite Assassin's Creed 2 telling a superior story, I really think that Brotherhood did an interesting one too, even though I really haven't finished it. Like, I came really close to finishing it, but I didn't because I was distracted by other games, which I regret not finishing. But Rome, being the setting of Brotherhood, was a very, very interesting choice for a setting because it was the only one that you really had available in the game, not including the little town that you start off with in Brotherhood and that you upgrade in the second game. But I personally think that the idea of raising your own creed is personally a really well done idea, and I think that it's a little detail, but I also like the change in Ezio's outfit because, like, in the second game, it was just like a vest that he wore over his original clothing.
Yeah.
Which some people like that. I personally don't. Brotherhood, on the other hand, gave Ezio his own set of robes to wear. And it was so beautiful to look at, in my opinion.
Wait. Okay, sorry.
It's okay. But the set of robes, the outfit that he had in Brotherhood, I thought it was beautiful because it had its own like little swirly design, and it was completely white. Like, it extended all the way down to his feet, like to his boots, pretty much. And it was just like the fact that you could even customize it made it so much better because I think the last outfit that I think the last set of colors that I had for my robe were like black and red.
Okay.
But yeah, that's just me with the Ezio trilogy. I mean, I personally think that
Okay.
if any, go ahead.
I wasn't saying anything. I was saying okay to acknowledge that you said it.
Okay. So anyway, if anyone hasn't ever gotten into an Assassin's Creed game, I would, like many other people, definitely recommend you start off with this because it tells a pretty straightforward story and is a pretty good introduction into the wide variety of settings and timelines that you can come across in the series.
Yeah. Although, if I remember correctly, wasn't that the one that established that you aren't actually playing as the character, but just some weird person who goes into a simulation thing?
Don't think I think the first game did that.
Yeah, I mean, I assume it was probably the first game, but at the same time, you mentioned that you don't remember, the first game too well.
Well, I don't remember it very well because I haven't really looked at the story in a while. But as far as I know, Brotherhood was like the first game where you could actually go out of the Animus and explore the outside world.
Oh, yeah.
And then Revelations came in with the whole how hard is it for me to describe this without spoiling it? Okay. Something happens to Desmond and he wakes up in this realm called Animus Island, which in Revelations, Desmond is basically asleep in some capacity, but is basically stuck in a dreamlike state where he's talking to the previous person who used the Animus before him, which would be Subject 16. I honestly don't remember the story of Revelations.
All right. Well, by that point, do you want to move on to the next game then?
Yeah.
Okay, which one was the next one? Yeah, one that came out.
3.
Yeah, and 3 was okay.
3 was the American Revolution.
1 second then.
Oh, I assume he's gonna pull out another book.
Nope. It's the American game, so I put on my cowboy hat.
Oh, I see.
I mean, I can. Okay. I can pull out more books if you want.
Okay. 3 is kind of strange to talk about, actually. Oh man.
Okay, more books. Here's the Encyclopedia of Modern Bodybuilding, which is so big that it actually works as weight, can be used as a weight. Here's the Art of War. Here's my copy of the New Testament. And here's Sailor Moon.
Okay, anyway.
Okay, first comment about Assassin's Creed 3. Here's a fun thing. The first and only criticism I ever remembered actually hearing about this game was from a YouTube channel called Outside Extra. Yeah, where what they did was, they did a video called times when the first level was the best of the best part of the game. They put Assassin's Creed 3 on the list.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
And you want to know, and you want to, know what they said?
What?
They praised the start of the game where you're going through the one building with the name I can't remember off the top of my head.
The Opera Building?
I know the second I know the second we turn off this stream, I'll remember the name of the building. But yeah, they talk about. Actually, no, it's screwed. I'm Googling it.
The fact that someone said that Assassin's Creed 3's first level was the best
Okay.
just really pisses me off.
Okay, the Royal Theatre in London.
Okay.
But you see, the thing is, they praise that for being an awesome scene where you're going through there, but then complain about the rest of the game. Game pretty much just being in the American Revolution, and talk about how if they wanted to hear from George Washington, they would watch Hamilton and all. And that's when I realized these are just a bunch of British people complaining that America exists. And the worst part is, I like their channel. I mean, one of their main people left a while back, and that was annoying. But
I can't fucking believe this.
And no, this isn't me saying bad things about the channel. This is just me using that as a setup for the joke of pointing that out. Now, that being said, I do agree that that's probably what it is, because Assassin's Creed 3. Well, why don't you tell everyone how good of a game it is?
Okay. I've got to be completely honest here. The start of the game is the worst part. Because it is so goddamn slow.
But the building was very accurate to how it really was, to the point of where it was used as actual reference to the building. So game design wise and
I mean like the first 3 chapters of the game.
Oh. Okay.
It is so fucking slow. Like,
hey, keep the
I don't care if it's a setup to play as the main character. You should not start the game off as a Templar. If you're going to start the game off as a Templar, you may as well finish the game as a fucking Templar. Don't just start the game as a Templar and then change us to an assassin right away.
Okay, take a breath.
Sorry.
That's the thing. I'm fine with the anger, but I'm not. But Twitch, but I'm not sure how Twitch is going to react to that level of swearing.
I'm sorry. I really am.
It's fine.
Okay. The first 3 chapters of the game are slow. They take way too long to establish the world building of the game itself. Haytham is really not that great of a character to start with.
But he has a tomahawk.
No, he doesn't.
I know. But that's the running joke.
Well, the running joke actually belongs to his son, Rakton Nagaton, otherwise known as Connor Kenway.
Yep.
Now, I'm going to be honest. When Chapter 4 hits and you start playing as Connor when he's a kid, that's when the game really starts to get interesting. By the time you get to sequence 7, when he already gains his colors as an assassin, then you really start to have some fun with it. Because the parkour is pretty damn fun.
Oh yeah, it was.
Like, it is so ridiculously fun to just run across the rooftops of America and just annoy the redcoats.
Yep.
I can't tell you the amount of times that I've done that, but I know there's also multiple cities in the game, which I really haven't gotten to. I'm still in Boston, but it is so ridiculously fun to explore, and the combat is so fun. Like, it's so fast and fluent that Connor is just a one-man army.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, that's also the running joke of the game. Now, the story gets better as you go along. It's just that I don't prefer an Assassin's Creed game to start us off as a Templar and then transition into an assassin.
Yeah, it's just an artistic choice they made that ended up being not too favorable.
Yeah. And the slow start was actually criticized by a lot of people. Because they said, Where is the assassin? We want to play as the assassin. We don't want this guy. We want the assassin.
It's not Templar Knights Creed.
Templar Creed.
That would actually be a pretty cool game, though. Templar
Creed.
Knights.
Yep. Yeah.
I want to be a Templar Knight. Plays Wolf and such.
Anyway, so up next is
I actually would like to say Assassin's Creed 3 was technically my introduction to the series.
Same here.
Now, what I mean, because my introduction to the way that I found out that Assassin's Creed was a thing was through a Smosh music video about Assassin's Creed 3.
I see.
And the chorus to the song was, "How many fools can I kill today? Yeah, too many to count. Don't get in my way. Yeah, what was the second?
Okay. Anyway,
I shoot a mofo with my bow. Tomahawk chop is my death blow.
Okay.
And then the second half is just George Washington rapping. It was sick. That's how I found out what Assassin's Creed is. And then there's the other one they did was for Black Flag, but yeah. Okay, so moving on.
Okay, so I have a small comment about 3. That was also my introduction to the series. Except I was introduced a little differently because we had a PS3 back in 2012, like most other people did. It was either the PS3 or the Xbox 360 that you had. And our dad got Assassin's Creed 3 for the PS3. 3. But
my dad got God of War 3 for the PS3.
Well, I wasn't introduced to God of War that way.
Yeah, that was one of my main introductions to gaming was my dad having me play God of War.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But moving on from the older games, I think it's only fair that we now kind of start to talk about the change in the series.
Wait. Yeah, was Black Flag not one of the older games?
It was. It's just that the game series really started to change when Origins came in 2017.
Black Flag was my favorite.
Well, don't worry. We're going to get to that one.
Edward Kenway was my favorite assassin.
He's like my second or third favorite.
A pirate's life for me.
Yep. Anyway, Edward Kenway, badass assassin.
Yeah. And he's friends with Blackbeard.
Yep. And God, there's a lot that I can talk about with Black Flag. Except one thing I can't really talk about much is the combat of like when you're just walking around. It's literally just the same thing as the other games. Tap one button, tap another, and then you're done. Just rinse and repeat. And
right.
Then you're done.
It's like Dark Souls when you have the full set of Havel armor and the Zweihander. You just right-click your way to victory.
Nah, it's not like that. It's more just like tap circle, you parry, then you tap square, and then you finish off the enemy.
I meant the level of simplicity.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But where the game really shines is its map and its naval combat.
Well, I mean,
naval combat was so ridiculously fun.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they didn't keep that in the later renditions of the game when naval combat came to play.
Yeah, I mean, like Odyssey was okay, but Black Flag was where it's at.
Yeah.
Because if you remember, when they announced Black Flag, a lot of people thought that Assassin's Creed was dead because they didn't like the direction that 3 had taken in terms of its story and its gameplay, and they thought that the pirate setting would never work for an Assassin's Creed game. But boy, oh boy, were they wrong.
Yep.
Like, I actually have the copy right here of the PS4 version.
I still need to get a copy myself.
Well, this is probably my second or third favorite Assassin's Creed in the series. The only one that ever comes to mind would be my favorite RPG game from the series, Origins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that being
Close the door. Okay, there we go. So anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but yeah, Black Flag was had one of the major things that the game series needed to focus on. Rather than yeah, story has always been one of the major points of Assassin's Creed, but they're trying to but I think they were trying too hard to be complex, whereas Black Flag showed them the ultimate thing is just be fun.
Yeah.
Have a
Honestly,
cool story. Have a cool story. Be complex, but be fun first.
Honestly, I gotta say, Black Flag is probably the most fun Assassin's Creed game that I have ever played. Because
Absolutely.
it felt unique for its time. It felt like a breath of fresh air. And with the addition of the naval combat and the massive map of the Caribbean Sea to explore, it really gave you endless opportunities on having fun in your own ways.
Yeah.
Like you could just board ships, freaking destroying them if you wanted to, dive deep down into the water to find new treasure. Like you could do all kinds of things, and that's what I love about Black Flag.
Yeah. And of course the entire thing, pirate's life for me.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Matter of fact, that's like I mentioned, Smosh also did a music video for Black Flag. And what was the chorus of that one? Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. Yo ho, murdering fools for free. Great, now I have the song stuck in my head.
Of course.
Yeah.
So anyway,
can man, I'm scared of letting
so after Black Flag, the series kind of went on a downward hill fall because the next game was just Rogue, which we don't really need to talk about. It was just the same as Black Flag.
Yeah, I don't actually remember that one too well.
I've never played it, so I can't talk about it. Now, Unity, I'm going to be completely honest. My opinion might change on Unity because I really haven't played it much. But I do think it's a pretty cool game. I mean, the idea of the Assassin's Creed game being set during the French Revolution is very cool. And I do think that the settings of Versailles and Paris, they are all very well done with detail, and they're filled with crowds, and the parkour is at its peak here.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, it's also the only game in the series where you can have, like, 2 or 3 people with you exploring the map. Like, it had online co-op, but not for the story.
Yeah.
Like, it had its own set of missions, but a lot of people did think that the whole co-op thing was kind of cool, if not a little broken.
Oh, absolutely.
But that was just Unity for you at the time.
Oh wait, Unity was the one that had co-op. That's actually pretty funny.
Yeah, and it was also considered the worst game in the series because of its very noticeable problems.
Yeah. But
anyway,
yeah, you got to cooperate with other people in a game with the word Unity in the title.
Well, not just that. Bugs were everywhere. The story didn't make any sense. The characters weren't memorable. The combat was considered slow and clunky. And just a whole bunch of other stuff. But we're not going to talk about Unity anymore because I have not played it much.
Okay.
Now, after Syndicate, they took a 2-year break and they decided to do something a little different with Assassin's Creed. They realized that the formula was getting a little stale, so they decided to
Give us
change
the
it.
old stuff.
Yeah. Mirage. Anyway, Origins came, and
Origins
it was
is good.
considered another breath of fresh air.
Which is funny because there isn't much fresh air in Africa.
Well, at least it was beautiful.
In some parts, yes.
Yes. But Origins, I love. I would personally say that I have spent a few hours into it, like maybe 2 days worth of time by this point, but I love it. I love the Egyptian setting, and I love the characters. I love the story. I love the I love almost everything about it.
Yeah. Although I was a little confused with how it tied into the other Assassin's Creed games, to be honest, because there was no Templar order in there. Unless I'm forgetting something.
There was a Templar order. It was the Order of the Ancients.
Did it happen later in the game? Because I do remember I didn't get that far into it.
No, it happened. No, it's okay. In Origins, it starts off with one of the Order members being killed by Bayek in a fit of rage. So there's 2 other Order members that you got to take care of, and then the Order expands, and then you got to take on more members. So it's revealed in the beginning that there is an Order of the Ancients, but there is no Brotherhood of Assassins because, well, they started off as the Hidden Ones.
Okay. Yeah, then I think I just stopped playing a bit before this point. Where it got introduced, because I do remember I didn't get too far in the game because this was just back when I was really bad at video games, as opposed to now where I'm just fairly bad at video games.
Okay. So anyway, Odyssey was my first RPG title of the series, and I think it was the 3rd Assassin's Creed game that I ever played.
Okay, I will say, an interesting thing about Odyssey, this was the first game in the Assassin's Creed franchise where there was no dedicated main character. You got to choose which character you played as, which in a way I think kind of takes away from it, because that was one of the main things from the previous games. We're talking about who our favorite assassin is. This one, there isn't really a set assassin here because you choose.
Yeah.
Now, I get they're trying to go with, there's a male and a female options, so you can play as whatever you are. Only problem is, that means there isn't a dedicated assassin for the game for you to get attached to. And because other people will play as a different character than you probably. 2 people who play the game are attached to a different assassin, so they don't really have the same connection.
Might I mention the fact that Ubisoft favored the female in comparison to the male? Can't they just provide a separate comic set for both characters?
Okay, I actually didn't have only played as the male in Assassin's Creed Odyssey. How did they favor the female character exactly?
They gave her more attention. They made her the main character. They made her the canon main character.
Wait, really? Let me Google
this.
Yes. Let me
What
Google
makes it
this
even
real quick.
worse is that in the game that I'm about to play, Valhalla, she is the one you see, not Alexios. And you want to know how much that pisses me off?
Oh, yeah, she is the main one that shows up when you Google main character Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Yeah, that sucks.
It's bullshit, because they should acknowledge Alexios as a main character, not as the antagonist.
Wait, antagonist? I don't see him showing up as an antagonist, just an alternate protagonist.
Do you care if I tell you a little bit about the story? Or do you prefer me not to tell you?
I would probably say don't spoil anything major.
Okay. The roles of... Okay. When you choose either Cassandra or Alexios, the roles swap. So if you play as Alexios, then he is the Eagle Bearer. But if you choose Cassandra, she is the Eagle Bearer, and...
Oh, I see what you mean now, because because I'm playing as Alexios, so my sister is in the Cult of Cosmos, so that makes
so
sense.
If you choose Cassandra, it's the other way around.
So Alexios becomes the little brother if you play as Cassandra?
Yes, he also becomes Demos.
Oh. Yeah, I can... Yeah, genuinely... Yeah. That does seem pretty dumb.
Now, okay. I'm gonna move away from Odyssey, because I don't want to go on a rant about the main character crap. So, we're going to talk about the most recent game in the series that I've played, to kind of end it off a little bit on the Assassin's Creed talk. Which, the most recent one that I've played is Valhalla.
Okay. I do like the Vikings stuff, so...
Okay. If you haven't checked it out, I do recommend you do. Of course, I will warn you, it is a little boring in the beginning, but from what I've heard, it really starts to get better once you get further in.
Alright.
But anyway, I did not expect much from Valhalla. I legit thought it was going to be the most boring game in the series because of what I heard about it. So, let's compare. Odyssey has a shorter main story, but it has more side quests. Valhalla has less side quests, but it has the longest story in the series, clocking in at 60 to 70 hours.
Huh?
You heard that right. 60 to 70 hours.
And for comparison, how long was Odyssey?
Like 40 to 50 hours.
Okay, because I've only got... because that's about how much time I have in the game so far. Admittedly, I've done a lot of side quests, but dear God,
well, at least you're taking your time exploring.
Oh no, not so much exploring, more so just hunting down the Cult of Cosmos and trying to level up so I can kill my sister. In the game, Twitch.
Now, there's a caveat to that part. You can actually choose to save her.
Okay.
I don't know how you do it, but I assume it's by treating her positively. Now, what that means is like engaging in more friendly conversation with her.
Friendly.
And trying to recall her memories.
So, sister, how are things going with the cult?
No, not in that sense.
Have you made a lot of friends amongst the cultists? Do you know any of them underneath the mask? Like who owns the slave trade in the silver mines? Or how about
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm probably just gonna fight her.
Well, I mean, I imagine the way you save her is kind of easy. I just don't know how to do it.
Yeah, it probably is, but at the same time, screw you for thinking you can be a main character.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah,
there's... Okay, Valhalla is different because it has a dedicated main character again. The only difference is you get to choose the gender of the character.
Yeah, funnily enough, that's what I thought I was talking about when I introduced the topic in Odyssey. But nah, you pointed out, yeah, they just straight up switch characters as to who, yeah, characters based on who. But yeah.
Yeah, with this one, it's different because historically, the main character was a girl. She was a real person, but the funny thing is, in the game, both genders are considered canon. Now, how that works, I have no idea.
Cocaine.
Or as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, cocaine.
That actually wasn't him saying it in a weird way. It was just him saying.
It was actually like how it would say if it was a Russian saying it.
Yeah, that's how you say cocaine in Russian.
That does not surprise me because I actually learned that from a comment. But anyway, Eivor the Wolf-Kissed. Not a lot of people really like his speed nor his strength. He's strong, but he's the slowest protagonist of the series. And he's really not that great at assassinating things. Like assassin.
He's an assassin who sucks at assassinating things.
Because he's a Viking.
That's the worst. That's the thing. I get it, but it's Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, he is pretty gruesome with his assassinations. But the thing about... Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about his hidden blade.
It's the one that goes on the back, right?
Well, he wears it like that. But in reality, you're supposed to wear it with the blade underneath.
Yeah.
But he wears it over so that he doesn't avoid cutting his finger like Basim did.
Yeah, because I remember they deliberately when they were making the game decided to put it on the back just as a way of kind of going with the recurring joke in the fandom that you can tell if someone's an assassin because they're missing a finger.
Well, that was changed by Altair historically in the game.
Really?
Yeah. Okay. He goes to this place where there's like a whole bunch of books, and he uses the Apple of Eden to modify the Hidden Blade's construction to where it not only doesn't have to take away the finger, but also he came up with different modifications, like a poison blade, a crossbow-esque blade, something like the Phantom Blade in Unity, or like the double hidden blades that Ezio gets.
Yeah.
Which he was the first assassin to do so. But what I don't understand is why would you make a Viking an assassin if he's not that good at sneaking around?
Heck, maybe they could introduce that as an interesting thing in the story, like, they're not seen as that good of a Viking because they don't like directly facing the enemy. Yeah, but the worst part is Vikings would use tactics all the time. Like, here, an example. I'll use the show Vikings as an example because it's so popular.
Mm-hmm.
There was one point they were in England. Yeah, they had a fortification set up. The English rode horses to attack them, and then they launched set up their trap for when the horses came up. Because the way horses are, if they see danger, they won't go towards it no matter what the rider says. So their trap, they laid out these spike formations with ropes so they could pull the ropes and have the spikes go from flat on the ground to upward pointing at the horses. So when the horses got in range, they did it so that it would happen, and then boom, the horses are dead, the knights got kicked off, and then boom, suddenly the Vikings have the advantage. That's an example of Viking tactics, and something that an assassin would do.
Well, okay. Eivor uses plenty of Viking tactics, but I don't think he really knows of any like assassination techniques other than just like dropping down and just, going in for the kill like this.
Yeah.
Or something like that. But
yeah, I'm going to hit you with my bent wrist technique. Yeah, just kidding. That actually is a real thing. It's called koken.
Yeah.
At least in karate. Except you're not hitting, except you're hitting with this part here. But yeah, this is just so awkward to try to thrust into something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I mean, it's an Assassin's Creed game. You gotta. I mean, maybe have them use hunting tactics. That's pretty close to what assassins do. But treat him like an assassin in an Assassin's Creed game.
Well, I mean, aside from all that crap, I do think the game is kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Hell, I got my sister into it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I let her try and explore for a bit, and she played for like 20 to 30 minutes until she died.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's kind of the way it goes. But she did find it interesting. Of course, if I had given her a gift card to maybe get the game for her, then maybe she'd play it. I don't know.
Possibly.
Because she has an Xbox Series S to herself.
Oh, that's cool.
And I got a PlayStation 5 to myself, and I'm bound to have a Series X soon.
I have a PlayStation 4 still.
Well, just so you know, the PS5 is still worth it.
Yeah, but I also don't have much money.
Well, shit, man.
Most of my money's going into getting my book published right now.
I see.
Yeah. But, okay. So, is that anything else you want to say for Valhalla?
Okay. I was going to mention the setting transition. Because the game starts out in Norway, right?
Yeah.
Then it transitions over to England.
Yeah, the Vikings did go a lot to England. Although I think they first went to Northumbria for when they started going, to England. But, yeah.
Well, this is like an 873.
Okay.
But I don't understand why they don't let you travel back to Norway once you get to the UK. Like, they force you to stay in the UK for a large majority of the game.
Well, in all fair, maybe it's a matter of, the whole traveling process was a whole ordeal for the Vikings. They needed specialized ships, they needed equipment, they needed a whole crew, and even then, it took a long time.
I see. Well, that is kind of interesting to think about, but yeah. I don't really think I have anything else to say about Valhalla.
Okay, well, that means there's only one game left to discuss. You know which one it is.
No, I don't.
Shadows.
Oh! The newest one! Okay. I think, like, I'm gonna be dead serious. I've not played that game.
I haven't played it firsthand, but I know a lot of what happens in the game based on accounts of people who have. And I watched gameplay of it so that to verify what was happening. because I'm not gonna pay for a new console and then drop $80 for the game.
Well, if you're gonna do that, then I recommend you do it with like God of War Ragnarok.
Nah, I didn't care for Ragnarok.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but okay. So here's some of the stuff you need to know about Assassin's Creed Shadows. For starters, you know how they decided, okay, we're playing it, we're playing as a ninja. We're in Japan. Okay, but we found us. Oh, hey, look at this. We found a story of one singular black guy in Japan. Let's make the game about him. Oh, but and it says here he was a samurai. Oh, and here's a historical thing that says he did things, except it didn't. It wasn't a historical recollection of what this guy did. It was just things that a guy wrote imagining what he did. It was basically historical fan fiction. And then, of course, there's the and then, of course, they kept with the whole you can choose to play as a man or a woman.
Except this time, it's a dual protagonist role.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also the matter of they play completely differently.
Well, I mean, there are some people who do like that.
Yeah, except the thing is, the entire point of having the choice was purely cosmetic. It was a matter of, okay, I want to play as a man, I want to play as a woman. No, with this one, you have to choose whether you're a man or a woman based on your play style, not your preference. Both characters should feel like they're the same character, just cosmetically different. And then, of course, there's the matter of because one of the main characters is black, they put rap music into the soundtrack. Well, hip hop at least. I'm not sure if it was full on rap, but hip hop music in feudal Japan.
Shitting
It
my ass.
It takes you completely out of it. Yeah, there's no immersion into the culture of feudal Japan. You don't feel like you're doing like you're in a historical game. This feels lame.
You know what's even more lame?
Ubisoft?
No. I actually plan on playing this bullshit.
Oh, it's also full of glitches, so keep that in mind.
Okay, glitches I can expect.
Oh no,
I've seen plenty of glitches.
No, I'm talking game-breaking glitches.
Well, I've seen those too. I'm just saying, like, I'm not sounding rude, but I have seen plenty of game-breaking glitches in my time to know that it mostly just relies on having to save very frequently.
Unless a gremlin gets into your save file.
Well, I don't think in that case. Wait, when the fuck did you see the glitch gremlin?
Well, the last time was on Christmas.
Like 3 days ago?
No, last Christmas. When he did the Christmas special with the Legacy sequel stuff, but yeah.
Oh.
Okay, but this game was so bad. One of the decisions they made led to a press conference being held by the Prime Minister of Japan to talk about this game and how insulting it was to Japanese culture.
And here I was talking about Ghost of Tsushima getting all the praise.
Oh, it deserves it. Ghost of Tsushima was great. But what they did was, here, let me actually look up this up. Yeah, so I don't get any names wrong here. Okay, here, let me refine my search. Okay. Yeah, so it's the female protagonist option. It's a dual, like you mentioned, it's a dual protagonist role and the whole clashing with the other, guy Yusuke thing. Thing is, act. Oh wait, here. Yeah, 1 second. My screen just. Yeah, that page just crashed. Let me. Okay. Says here one of the major ones was the historical inaccuracies were a major problem. Were a major problem. Most a lot of them surrounding Isuke, of course, because he did nothing that they talked about in the game. And then there was cultural disrespect, such as shrines, in this game, real shrines that are real in real life, actual shrines being destroyed. And then there's just some insults to Japanese culture, like they showed female sumo wrestlers in Japan. That's not a thing, especially not back then. Now, there in the modern years, there's a women's division in sumo, but not in like grand sumo. At least I don't think there's a grand sumo women's division. And of course, there's extra stuff in there, like most of the there are more gay romance options in this game than there are straight ones.
The gay do not need acknowledgement in every piece of media.
Yeah.
When are they going to realize that?
Oh no, they probably realized it. They just keep demanding it.
Either that or they don't, and they either that or they don't. And they refuse to acknowledge it.
Here's the thing. A while back I decided I'm no longer going to treat the opposing side like they're just dumb and don't realize. I treat it like they fully realize it and are just evil. Because people will because I not only do I find it's more realistic half the time, but oftentimes you see links between a lot of these things, showing not only was it intentional, it's a part of a bigger plan. It's slowly eroding the culture to force these destructive ideas into every aspect of culture so that it's perceived as normal. And then it's seen as the standard. So eventually, if you aren't like that, you're the weird one. And that leads into more things, but I'm not sure how Twitch feels about conspiracy theories. But yeah, so but yeah, Assassin's Creed Shadows was just a complete shit show. I mean, if you still want to play it, go ahead and play it. I mean, I'd honestly be glad to hear about a first-hand opinion of someone who's played the game. But I'll just say this: try to find a used copy.
Well, I actually found copies that were actually pretty damn cheap.
Oh, that's great.
Like, I'm talking like brand new copies too, like $34.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And hell, it's on sale on the store for $34.99.
Huh. Which store?
The PlayStation store.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Sorry, I thought you were talking about an actual real store.
Oh, well,
Like in
I
town,
did.
like in town, we
Okay.
got Retro Jake's. I
Yeah,
stopped. I don't really buy games from GameStop unless they're in the used section. But
yeah, but I okay. I don't have any comments about Shadows, but I will say I have been thinking about playing the game ever since I got finished with FromSoft's hardest game,
which one?
Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Oh, I thought you meant. Yeah. Dark Souls with the Ready to Die and the Double Trouble edition.
There's no Double Trouble edition.
I know.
There's just Prepare to Die.
No, I'm just trying to remember. I was trying to remember. Yeah, remember the name of the mod that doubles up all the enemies.
Oh. Well, I don't play Dark Souls on PC, so.
I play console, but yeah, get both of those mods going at the same time. I think it would be harder than Sekiro.
I don't know. I mean, Sekiro is pretty challenging itself. It's more based around boss fights than it is based around the areas in between the fights.
Well, yeah, but keep in mind with that mod, bosses are doubled too. Imagine having to fight two Ornsteins and two Smos at the same time.
I could probably manage that.
Yeah, but imagine two Super Ornsteins or a Super Ornstein and a Super Smo at the same time.
I could probably still manage it.
I don't know. Super Ornstein alone is pretty bad. But okay, so oh, and then there's also the hardest Soulsborne born game. Soulsborne lore trivia. Just play one game and then try to tell us the lore with a gun to your head.
Nah, I don't think Twitch would approve of that.
Oh no. Yeah, oh no, absolutely not. Twitch would hate that. But imagine that. Yeah, that just beating a Soulsborne game and then someone just holds you there and just says, "All right, now tell me the story of what you just played."
That would not be very fun.
No, it would not. Although I did actually see something recently that was pretty interesting. There's this guy on YouTube who's been doing a series where he had his dad play Dark Souls as his first ever video game. And after having beaten the game, he had him go through trivia of all of the bosses in the game, where it's tell me what you can about this boss, and we will rank it out of 10. If you get it, then we add up your points, divide it by 10, and then as long as you have above a 5, by the end, you win. And he surprisingly won.
According to the thumbnail, he also said that video games are a waste of time.
Oh, you watched that video too?
No, I just looked at the thumbnail and I looked at that bit of dialogue.
Oh, yeah, they went full on interview mode for it, but that was what he thought when he was raising his kids, with all that. Video games are a waste of time. Parents often are like that. Not my dad though. He made me play Final Fantasy VII when he got a PS1. But but it was full on interview mode about how his perception of video games, as well as the internet community, changed after having played Dark Souls while streaming on Twitch for the videos. And he actually quite enjoyed Dark Souls.
Really?
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. He got plenty annoyed at parts. There's actually a soundbite on the channel now. Whenever someone subscribes, that of the dad talking of a thing the dad said when he was going through Sen's Fortress, of him saying, "Whoever programmed this should be shot."
I think that same way, but with Tomb of the Giants.
Oh, Tomb of the Giants is horrible. Although,
I mean, I get it. It's underground, and it's not, and there's not very much you can do down there. But for the love of the sun, please put in lights.
Praise the sun.
Like,
for me, it's less. For me, it's not so much about the lights, so much as the respawning enemies. Now, admittedly, I did have a Divine Halberd before going into this, so I didn't have too much trouble with that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, or those wheel skeletons.
The bone wheels?
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it was an interesting series. If I remember correctly, the hardest boss for him in the entire game was, funnily enough, Gwyn.
He might not have been good at parrying.
Oh no, he sucked at parrying for the longest time. By the end, he didn't parry a single time when he beat Gwyn. It was just full Havel armor, stand in front of his face, stagger him with his Sviander, and then heal in his face, and repeat until death.
I see, says the blind man to his deaf wife.
Ha!
Honey, I see! What?
Okay, that's actually pretty funny.
My Papa pulls that off on me sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, my current, the one that's still living always says, so did you hear that, new announcement, the company that makes yardsticks, announced, they're not making them any longer.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're an hour and 33 minutes in.
Yeah. What do you want? Oh, what? You coming up on time or something?
Kind of.
Okay. Well, we can cut it. Yeah, cut it here then. So,
okay.
On that note, Assassin's Creed is basically a dead franchise, and the only way they're bringing it back is to go back to what they used to be. You know what? Let's make another Crusader game for the Assassin's Creed franchise. It's the only way we're getting back to it.
Well, from what I've heard, they're doing a remake of Black Flag, and they're not including the Animus.
Really?
So we're going to have a lot to say about that one if we ever play it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, chances are, they might just find a way to ruin it.
Even my burp says so.
Watch them change the game so that by the end of the game, Edward Kenway gives up being a pirate because he decided that capitalism is bad.
I would hate them for that.
Oh, absolutely. Just like if they do make another Crusader game in the Assassin's Creed franchise, they'd probably have us fighting on the side of the Islamic Empire. That would ruin that for me. I'm sorry, but I don't want to side with the country. Side with any of the countries that, to this day in the real world, still practice slavery. Yeah, but so on that note, do you have anything you'd like to say to the audience before we go?
Well, I will say, if you ever go for an Assassin's Creed game, just try to take things with a little bit of a grain of salt, because you never really know what can happen with a Ubisoft game.
Yes. And on that note, thank you everybody for watching this episode of the show with no name, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.